What if I told you that two of the most powerful companies in the world, 23andMe and Google, are linked not only by technology but also by a marriage between their founders? Together, they hold your DNA and your internet history. But what happens when this treasure trove of personal data falls into the wrong hands? Buckle up, because today we're diving deep into the recent 23andMe scandal and how it could reshape humanity's future in ways we can't even imagine. In October 2023, 23andMe, the popular consumer genetic testing company, was hit by a massive data breach that exposed the sensitive DNA information of over 6.9 million users. This data wasn't just names and emails, it included the deepest, most personal parts of a person, their genetic code, health predispositions, and ancestry. The breach targeted specific groups, with the stolen information eventually ending up for sale on the dark web. Customers of Jewish and Chinese descent were particularly affected, raising serious concerns about ethnic targeting. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. The fallout from this breach isn't only about stolen data, it's about what could happen next, and how the relationship between 23andMe's CEO Anne Wojcicki and Google co-founder Sergey Brin might be more significant than ever before. The personal data empire. Let's take a step back. 23andMe was founded with the noble goal of democratizing DNA testing, allowing people to understand their genetic background and health risks from the comfort of their own homes. It sounded like a revolution, and in many ways it was. Millions of people sent their saliva samples to 23andMe, trusting that their personal genetic information would remain safe. However, the 2023 hack shattered that trust. On the other hand, Google, co-founded by Anne Wojcicki's then-husband Sergey Brin, has become synonymous with collecting and monetizing vast amounts of personal data. From search history to location data, Google knows more about us than we know about ourselves. Combined, these two companies hold unprecedented power. One has your genetic data, and the other has your digital footprint. The scandal with 23andMe forces us to confront an uncomfortable question. What happens when these worlds collide? The breach and its immediate impact. The breach was a major wake-up call. DNA data, unlike a password, can't be changed. Once it's out there for good. This isn't just about a few hacked accounts. This is data that could potentially be used for malicious purposes, from identity theft to genetic discrimination. The initial response from 23andMe was to downplay the breach, assuring users that their DNA data itself wasn't directly accessed. But as more details emerged, it became clear that the damage was far greater than first thought. Not only were millions of users affected, but the stolen information also included connections between individuals through the DNA relatives feature, making it possible for hackers to piece together extensive family trees. One of the more concerning aspects is that the breach targeted specific ethnic groups. Why? Speculation swirls around the idea that this data could be used for purposes that go beyond financial gain, potentially even to influence social or political agendas. The future of personal data. Now here's where things get really interesting. With Anne Wojcicki at the helm of 23andMe and her connection to Google, this breach raises profound concerns about the future of personal data. Google already knows our habits, preferences, locations, and now potentially our genetic predispositions. What if, in the future, your health insurance premiums are influenced not by your lifestyle, but by your DNA? Or what if companies like Google start using DNA data to predict consumer behavior, target advertisements, or even shape political campaigns? This could be the ultimate form of surveillance capitalism, where even the biological essence of who you are is used to drive profits. Consider a world where your genetic data is cross-referenced with your browsing history. Imagine being denied a job or a mortgage because an algorithm determined that your DNA showed a predisposition to certain diseases or mental health conditions. This isn't science fiction, it's a plausible future. Ethical implications and public response. The public outcry following the 23andMe breach has been swift. Lawsuits are already underway, with affected users seeking compensation for the violation of their privacy. In a class action lawsuit, 23andMe agreed to a $30 million settlement, but that may only be the beginning. For many, no monetary compensation can make up for the breach of something as personal as DNA. Ethicists are raising alarms about the power these tech giants hold. The conversation isn't just about data security anymore, it's about data ownership and the long-term impact on society. Should companies have the right to own and control our genetic information? And what regulations need to be put in place to protect people from the potential misuse of this data? governments are starting to take notice. In California, where 23andMe is based, lawmakers are pushing for stronger genetic privacy laws to prevent similar breaches in the future. But is that enough? Given the global scale of companies like Google, regulating them may prove to be an even greater challenge. So, where does this leave us? The 23andMe scandal is a stark reminder that in the digital age, privacy is an illusion. As technology advances, so does the power of companies to gather, analyze, and potentially exploit our most personal data. The combination of DNA data and internet history is a recipe for unprecedented control over individuals and entire populations. The question isn't just what will they do with this information, but how far will they go? The future of humanity could very well be shaped by the data we freely give away. Are we prepared for that? If you found this video informative, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. How do you feel about companies holding this much power over our personal data? And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more deep dives into the stories shaping our world today.